Hello! In this video I'm going to show you how you can get a mail automatically sent to a customer who leaves customer feedback about your business. So we go to make.com and we make a new scenario. And the first module we're going to add is the Google Form module. So we're going to search or we type in form and we see Google Form. We click on this one. Now we can choose a lot of forms. And the one we are searching is watch responses. This will trigger when we get a response on a Google Form. So we click this one and now it's open up. We go to the add button, we click on add, click on sign in with Google, and now it's authorizing. We choose our email account, we choose further, allow, and now it's making connection. Now we must put here our form ID. So we go to our form. Form ID is the row after the D and before the edit. We need this code. We select it, copy it, and going back to make. In make we will add the code we had from the form. Click on search, click on OK, and now it's searching for the form that we had. In this example it's customer review we want. We click the one, we click to limit, we set it on 1. Now we click on OK and we want to choose from now on. And now we're going to fill in the form. To fill in the form we go to the eye icon and now we can fill in the form. So we fill in our name, Jeroen, email address, how would you rate your experience with our restaurant? It's average because the food was cold. The food was cold when served. Okay, we choose to send, and now we have an input for form. Well, we're going back to make and we want to run the module 1 so we can map out our form. So we choose right mouse button, choose run this module only, and now it will run and now we can see the answers on our form. So we can see how we rate our experience. As we filled in, it was average. Food was cold when served, etc, etc. Now we have this, we can make it mappable to the Google Sheet. So for this example we're going to make a sheet. So we go to Google Sheet. Now we set up our Google Sheets. We're going back to the make.com and we're going to add the sheet. What we want is sheet module. So you type in Google Sheets or you choose Google Sheets if it's visible, and we choose to add a row because every time when there's new information from the Google form we want to add a row to our sheet. So we choose add a row. We want to choose our account. We click on the account and now we want to search for the spreadsheet ID. Click here to choose the file. We click on this and now it's loading and we must have the name we typed in before. So we named it customer feedback and we see here it's customer feedback. We click on this one and now it's loading and now we must choose the sheet name. Sheet name, I named it also customer feedback, maybe it's sheet 1 or something along that lines, but if you give it a name you should see the name here. And now we choose table contain headers because now we get the values and now we can map the values from the Google form to the sheet. So now we have a name value and we click here and now we want to go to the questions we ask on the Google form. So what's your first name? That's the name, and we want to go to the answer. So we search for the answer and we go to the value, and the value you see it's the name Jeroen. So we click on this and now we have add the value, and now we do the same for all the other ones. So we go into email. Oh, close the one, must open it. What is your email? Go to text answers, value is email. Oh, put it twice in it. That's not the way it must go. Now we go to question 3. And here we see the preview. is average, and now we want feedback. And we do the same for the last field. We go to the answers, and we want the value, and we see that the food was cold. Now we click on OK. And now we go back to the form and we're going to add our new feedback so we can see if the form put it through to the Google Sheet. So we go to the form, send again, and now we're going to add name, average, waiting takes too long. We are not happy with the customer service. We send it, we go back to make, and make we choose to run the scenario once. And we see we get 1 and 1, and then we get the updates of the sheets. Updated columns 4. Now we go to a sheet to see if we updated the right columns with the right information. And when we go back to our Google Sheet, we see we have our name, we have our email address, we have the review, that's average, and waiting takes too long. So it's working, so now we can set up the next module. Now we're going to add an OpenAI module. So we're going to OpenAI, ChatGPT, and we choose to create a completion prompt. Choose this one, must make the connection with the account. Choose the model, I choose ChatGPT 4 the latest. And now we can add our message. So we click on message, we give it a role, we give it the role of a user, and now we give it a prompt. So we choose take on a role of company employee and respond to a customer who has provided feedback. Use the customer information, name, email, experience, and feedback. Here's the input, and now we're going to map our fields as we used them before in the Google Sheet. So we choose here, we choose what is your first name. We're going to do the same as we did before, so we must go to the value of your own. Now we give it an enter, and we do the same with email. So we go into the email, click on the answers, click value, enter. Now we go into the other ones, so we're going down. We fill in the average value, or the value in this example. It's average, so we now I scroll my mouse, that was not where it should go. We choose answer, and we choose waiting takes too long. Now we have this, and now we add more to our prompt. Give it an enter, and now I'll paste the prompt further and scroll along so you can see what kind of information it's in there, and you can type it in your own prompt. So here's a lot of the way how to respond, the output instructions, output format, an example with a name and email, what the experience and the feedback was, how to react, how to end the mail, best regards from schrijven, customer service, here are automations, and here keep the tone friendly, professional, dynamically, etc. etc. And the important part here is output in full HTML, please, because if it's in full HTML, we can add it to our Gmail. So that's the way how we're going to do it. Max completion tokens, I choose the standard way, it's standing on 2048, so I will let it go. Click on OK. So this is how it's working to setting up this module. Now we're going to change the name because this is the email generator. Let's rename it email generator. Okay. And now we're going to run this module only to see if it's working. Run this module only. At email.com. And beer was not cold. Okay, and run it. Now it's running once. We can see what's happening. Didn't work out as it should be, so we're going to result. it is HTML. It's a doc type HTML with a header, with a head. We see everything is okay. Oh, and here we notice that the beer wasn't cold, so it's working. Best regards, Koen for customer service, hero automations. So this is working. Now we're going to make another module. We're going to add another OpenAI module because we want to make a title for the email. We had a title in it, but I want to make a separate title that's focusing on the title as I want. So same, we choose the model, we choose ChatGPT for latest, choose a user, and we're going to add a message. And the message is, scroll down, the message is the following. Create a subject for this email, keep it short and crispy, and use the customer's name. Thank them for their feedback. An example output, thank you for your valuable feedback, Jeroen. So create a subject for this email, and now we must refer back to the email. So we're going to ChatGPT, that make the email, so we choose result, and now use the customer name. So we must add the name from the Google form. So we're going to scroll down, and here we have our answers. What is your first name? We need the value from the first name. As we did before, we go to answers, we go to the value and choose value because that's the name. So we have the name of the customer, we have the result of the email, thank them for the feedback, and now it's okay. The only thing we must do is scroll down and change this because for a title so much tokens, it's a little bit too much, so I change it to 300 or something. And we choose OK. Now again, let's run this module only. Run this module only. Choose an answer. What is the first name? The first name is Jeroen. OK. And we click on OK. And let's run it and see what's happening. And what's the result? The result is the title, Appreciate Your Feedback, Jeroen. So it's working, so we go to the next module. Choose Gmail. We choose Send an email. Click on Send an email. And now we must add our account. So we click on Add. Then sign in with Google. We choose our account. Go further. 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 And we set up our Gmail account. Now we must add a recipient. So we choose here and we want to search for the Google form input because we want to know the email for the customer. So we're going to what is your email address, the answer, and a value. So we fill in the email address. And now we choose the subject. For the subject we have the email generator. So we're going to search for the email generator. We have the email generator, and I mean we must have the title generator. So we choose the result from the title generator. And now we go for the content. For the content we choose the result from the email generator. And this is almost the part to set it up. But we need one important thing, and that is we must replace the HTML signs from the email. So we're going to type replace, and if you can see replace is a function and it's replacing signs, characters, that kind of stuff for something else. So we're going to change the HTML signs, characters for an empty string. So we will use another replace because if you choose for HTML, it's always putting out the same symbol, so we must change it. So we do this, and we want to replace it by an empty string. So and this is empty string, we can search here. Now we have here the empty string, so we choose empty string, we close it. And now we do the other ones, because every time when you choose HTML, it puts out these characters, and we don't want them in the email because the email is sent to the customer. So close this. Now we choose empty string again, and close it. and we are ready to go. So we have it. We can save it. So we save it. Control S on Windows, Control Command on Mac. So now we have our whole automation. Now we're going to test it. So we go back to Google Form. We choose to send it again. We click. We fill in the fields. So name again, Jeroen. I like the way your guys are serving your customers. Great restaurant. Boom. And now we choose to send it. We send this, and now we go back to our automation. We choose run once, and we're going to see what's the result of our automation. And everything is going right, so we're going to open up our email. And now we are in our email box, and I see that I did something wrong because I have subject, but the title is okay, but I think I have, in the example, I have the term subject in it, so we must change it. But if is it the right email? So if we leave subject away, we have thank you for your valuable feedback, Jeroen, so much time, blah blah blah. We're thrilled to hear that you had a good experience and that you are enjoying the way we serve our customers. I'd like to make for the last time. So we're going to the module that's generating the title and also rename it because I see that I didn't rename it. I will name it title generator, and then I'm going to watch what I did wrong. So I'm going to open this by double clicking and going to see what's prompt. The prompt has create a subject for this email, keep it short and crispy, and use the customer name. Thank them for their feedback, example output. Thank you for your valuable feedback, Jeroen. So I never place here the word subject. So below I'm going to write a sentence, only output the title like this. Oh, yes. Bad example output. Okay, so now I give it another example. I give it a good example and a right example, and I will save this, and then we're going to fill in the form for the last time, and I hope that this is going right. So watch me fill out the form again. Send it again. Did it a few times. So first name, it's still Jeroen. Was great. Will recommend to friends. Okay, send. And now we go back to make for the last time. And we choose run one so we can run it again. And let's see what's happening now. So we open the email. And we see the title is great. Thank you for your valuable feedback, Jeroen. So we open it. And we see we get a great email. And it's changed from the last time because it's excellent. If you like it, please add a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more tutorials about automation, and I hope to see you by the next one. Bye bye!